Hey everybody, Sunny here. Before we get to the show, I just want to remind you all where you can listen to my show, Casagrandes Chats. I'm on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more streaming platforms, and even YouTube. With YouTube, you go over there and search for Casagrandes Chats, and every episode of my show is up there on YouTube. Then I want to remind you all about my Patreon page. So go to patreon.com/CasagrandesChats. It's where you can go and support my show. I have 3 tiers you can sign up for. The radio tier, which is $1, the sit tier, which is $5, and the familiar tier, which is $10. It's a great way to support my show, so go over to Patreon and support my show today. And with that being said, let's get on to the show. Everybody, and welcome to Casagrandes Chats, a podcast dedicated to Nickelodeon's The Casagrandes and the Loud House universe. And I'm your host, Sunny, and welcome to episode 21 of Casagrandes Chats. So yeah, I started with a new intro there. I hope you guys like it. I thought we'd clear up some things because, with my show, I do talk about the Casagrandes mainly because it's dedicated to the Casagrandes, i.e. Casagrandes Chats. But also I want to, clarify that I also talk about the Loud House too overall, because the Casagrandes are part of the Loud House universe. So I thought about changing my intro there. Maybe it'll clear some things up, and I might stick with it for the future. But so today we have a lot of stuff to talk about today because I missed a week. I took a week off for doing schoolwork and such. But today, again, it's going to be a big news week. Again, it's going to be all news. I don't have any episodes to talk about, but there are new episodes coming out soon, and that's why I'm here to do an episode of my show talking about all this exciting news that happened during last week and this week. So it's going to be another part 2 of the News Alert episode I did 2 weeks ago. So it's going to be part 2 of News Alert. So with that being said, let's get into some Casa News!
Hey, it's me, Ronnie Ann. If you like the Louds, come meet my family. My mom, my brother, abuelo, abuela, Tio Carlos, Tia Frida, my cousins Carlota, CJ, Carl, and Carlitos, and our pet Sergio and Lalo. We are the Casagrandes.
So the first news item for this week is that, of course, there's going to be new episodes of The Loud House and The Casagrandes next week. And yeah, so some things happened with scheduling changes where Nickelodeon didn't know what exactly they were going to premiere these new episodes. Because at first we saw a new promo with these episodes. Like, we saw clips from these new episodes coming out in a promo that said they were coming out next week at 4 p.m. Then, for some reason, some people saw that they changed the promo to say coming soon. They got rid of the episodes on the schedule, so then we didn't know they were coming out again. Then they put them back on the schedule, but changed them to another time. So, for those of you who don't know when the episodes are coming out now, because Nickelodeon changed everything up, originally they were going to air at 4 p.m., but that's not happening anymore. Well, it is happening, but it's not happening, the new episodes are premiering that time. The new episodes are premiering at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then having reruns from 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want to make sure everybody's clear on that the new episodes are airing at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the 27th through the 30th. And we have 4 new episodes coming out that week, which are Loud House and Casagrandes. So they're doing it in this order. It's Right and Wrong on the 27th, Fast Feud on the 28th, Perfect Gig on the 29th, and Never Friendly Story on the 30th. I believe that's the last one. If that's wrong, please correct me, but I know that's the order of the episodes. However, since I wasn't here last week, yes, this week, for those of you who know, right now as this episode is coming out, Right and Wrong and Perfect Gig have aired in the UK, have been leaked out already. So a lot of us have already seen these episodes. But if you've been avoiding spoilers and want to see it, premiere in the Nickelodeon US, it is coming out next week. I will not talk about these episodes today, because obviously they got leaked out, so I will not talk about them during this episode. I want to talk about them next week when they officially premiere in the US with the Casagrandes episodes to pair them up in one episode. And I'm hoping to have a guest on during that episode. If not, I'll probably do a solo show. But I'm going to save those episode reviews for that week. I just want to talk about them coming out next week and how, I'm very excited for new episodes, of course, but again, I've already seen them, and what I can save right now without spoilers that Right and Wrong and Perfect Gig were great episodes. Of course, Perfect Gig being the perfect episode for Selena fans, lots of Selena fuel. So if you're a Selena fan, definitely check out the episode you haven't seen yet. It's great. And then Right and Wrong was definitely a really good, like, just standard Loud House episode. Really focuses on the family and such, and it's just a great episode to come back to after not seeing the Louds for so long. But of course, with the Casagrandes, my show, we are getting 2 new episodes that haven't leaked out yet. So I can talk about those here today. And of course, I'll be talking about them during the next episode. But of course, we have 2 new episodes of the Casagrandes coming out as well, which are Fast Feud and Never Friendly Story. So the last time I did talk about Fast Feud, we got the synopsis leaked out like 2 weeks ago, I think, and we didn't know about Never Friendly Story. Now we know about it, but let's talk about Fast Feud for a second, because Nickelodeon posted a ton of sneak peeks and such from Fast Feud. So today, the official Casagrande Instagram posted the title cards for Fast Feud and Never Friendly Story today, and both of them are gorgeous. Like, either it was today or yesterday. I can't remember what it was. It was probably yesterday. I can't remember. But both of those title cards are gorgeous. Like, I love the Fast Feud one. It really gives me kind of like Intern for the Worst vibes from that season 2 episode, The Loud House, where Lincoln and Clyde were competing to work for Flip. So it kind of reminds me of that in a way, where you see Roddy and Sid are kind of like trying to ignore the smell of the burgers, and you see Sid, being Sid, kind of getting lured in, and Roddy is trying to ignore it. So it's really cool. And also somebody, I'm trying to find it. Where was it? There was the full title card somebody posted. I had it here somewhere. Where'd it go? And yes, somebody who works on the Casagrandes, Julia Ganola on Instagram, posted the entire full title card for Fast Feud. And I'm very interested in this episode even more after seeing this, like, really interesting looking title card with everything on there with, like, I guess it's the smell of the burgers are taking over the Mercado. And you see, like, Roddy and Sid on the side there. I don't know I don't know what that thing is, like, that platform that's, like, with them there, and why they're wearing, t-shirts. I assume they're probably wearing their, pajamas, I guess, and it's nighttime, so they're being lured by the burgers at nighttime. Then we also have the credits here on the title card, written by Richard Goodman, storyboards by Chelsea Holt, directed by Mike Nordstrom, produced by Karen Mulch, and executive producer Michael Ruber. So we have the credits for that episode. We don't have a title card, we don't have the full title card for Never Friendly Story. But we have the half version that they post on the official Casagrande page. And oh boy, Never Friendly Story, like, we have to talk about it first before I talk about the title cards. So we have the synopsis here. Where did I put it? Here it is. Okay, sorry. So organized today. Never Friendly Story. After picking Parr as his new best friend, Bobby realizes he may be in over his head. So I thought Never Friendly Story was going to be a Roddy End episode, and I thought because Never Friendly Story was going to be connected to Friended, and we would see, like, the first Roddy and Sid fight in the show. But it's another Bobby episode. Wow. Bobby's getting a lot of focus in the Casagrandes, and I'm really glad about that because, I feel like, again, in the Loud House, Bobby didn't really have much of a character. But now in the Casagrandes, he's really grown. Like, he's really developed into more of a character. And this is a great way to continue developing his character and growing him with getting a best friend because, we really didn't know if Bobby had any other friends outside of Lori. Like, he only really hung out with her. I guess he had his coworkers were his friends, kind of, but did he really have any friends? I mean, there was that one episode where Lori threw the party down, but those are her friends versus his friends. I think he knew her friends and were friends of her friends, but really he didn't have any friends. Whereas now he's in the city, he hasn't really hung out with anybody his age. He hasn't really made any friends his age. He mostly talks to all the people who, come into the store, like, Maybelle and Vito and such. So with Parr, I didn't think that Parr would be his age, but I guess he's the same age as Bobby, so that's going to be really interesting because, especially with the title card for Never Friendly Story, you see how lonely Bobby is while Roddy and Sid are just rubbing their friendship in his face. Like, look at Roddy and Sid being cute girlfriends at the bottom there, and then Bobby's just all by himself. That's kind kind of sad. But when I saw the synopsis before I saw the title card, I was like, oh yeah, like Bobby's gonna feel like left out or jealous. He doesn't have a best friend like Ronnie Ann. And I'm hoping this would happen, but it's probably not gonna happen because, you know, the Casagrandes. Every time I try to predict something with different scenarios, they never do it because, you know, that's just the way it is. But I want a moment where Bobby talks to Ronnie Ann about how he's lonely and can't make a best friend, and he's jealous that Ronnie Ann was able to make friends with like Sid and her city friends so fast, and her skater friends. I keep forgetting that. Skater friends, I'm sorry. Ronnie Ann was able to make friends with Sid and her skater friends so fast. And I want Ronnie Ann to be like, look, Bobby, you know, like, I may have made friends with Sid, like, super fast, but I was never like this before, you know? I had a hard time making friends back in Royal Woods before I met Lincoln, you know? But I know they're not going to do that. They're probably just going to be like, yeah, I had trouble making friends before I met Sid, you know? Because that's just the way it goes. But if I had my way, you know, that would probably be the case. But, you know, I do want Ronnie Ann to, you know, comfort Bobby and say, you know, if I was able to make friends in the city really fast, I'm sure you can make friends with somebody. And that's where you get the idea to make friends with Parr. But for the promo, you know, it showed that Parr likes to live on the edge, so he rides a motorcycle, and Bobby seems really scared. And even there was a part where Bobby was jumping out of a plane, and that kind of concerns me, you know? So I'm like, is Parr like a real extreme person? So like Bobby is trying so hard to be his friend, but, you know, maybe in the end, Bobby realizes that maybe him and Parr just aren't meant to be, you know, meant to be friends and stuff. Or maybe, you know, maybe Bobby thinks that, you know, he should not be friends with Parr, but then he realizes he kind of misses having a friend, so that's when he decides that he should be best friends with Parr. Again, I think it's going to be a great character exploration for Bobby, because again, like, you know, he only had Lori, and, you know, he only talks to Lori over video chat, so now that she hasn't gone to college yet, she's not near the city yet, he feels lonely, and since, you know, his little sister was able to make friends with somebody really fast, you know, it's kind of hard for him to feel left out, and, you know, he probably wants to hang out with Ronnie, but she's like, oh, no, I'm gonna go hang out with Sid, and it's like, come on, make some time with your brother, you know? But then, like, look at that title card, and it's really sad, because, like, Ronnie is just, like, hanging out with Sid, and rubbing her friendship in his face. It's kind of sad, you know. It's really sad. I feel bad for Bobby, but hopefully things will work out with Parr, and when he can finally have a best friend he can feel content with, you know. And maybe we could get like an episode where Lori comes to the city after she moves to, you know, college, and she finally meets Parr, and they all could be like really close together, like a Ronnie and Sid and Lincoln kind of thing, you know. I'd love to see that, but it'd be really nice to see Bobby make more friends, you know. But you know, I hope maybe, you know, he mentions Lori, and, like, you know, he loves Lori and stuff, but now that he can't see her as much anymore, he really wants to make a best friend. So I'm really, like, excited for this episode. The potential it has to be a really, like, really heartfelt episode for Bobby. Like, it's gonna make me feel bad for him because, you know, I've been in his shoes before. You know, I've had trouble making friends. So the fact that he can't find a best friend after, you know, being in the city for so long and seeing that his sister made a friend so fast, it's so sad. You know, I hope that Ronnie Ann really helps Bobby during this situation. And moving over to Fast Feud, because we talked about that the other time, because I don't have to talk about my predictions for that episode. We did get 2 sneak peeks of Fast Feud on Instagram from Nickelodeon and the official Casagrande page today, actually. Yes, so it was today. We have one of Ronnie Ann and Carl, and they're wearing sunglasses. I assume that's from Fast Feud, because Carl's in that episode. We saw him in the promo, so I assume maybe Carl is helping Ronnie and Sid with their, you know, with their scheme to try to close the restaurant down. Or it could be from Never Friendly Story, I don't know. But I assume it's from Fast Feud just because of what I've seen in the promo with Carl in it, so I think maybe Carl is going to help them try to take down this burger restaurant. It's kind of cool just to see Ronnie and Carl in, like, sunglasses, kind of, like, making a disguise. But it's not the best disguise, you know? And then, the next one for the Casagrandes was with Ronnie and Sid, and I assume they're at the restaurant. They're at the burger restaurant because they're trying to hide with the menus and be like, okay, we're going to find a way to take down this restaurant. So, you know, Fast Feud, I'm not really as excited for because, you know, it doesn't look like it's going to be an interesting episode to me, but I'm intrigued by it just from what I've seen of it so far, you know, with the title card and the, you know, the promo and, like, the pictures we've seen of this episode. It looks intriguing. I don't know. I think it's just gonna be just like a simple Sidani episode. We always need one of those, like a clicking episode. We'll get to that later. But I mean, Never Freddy's story looks more promising. But I always like to have the benefit of the doubt. I always like to be proven wrong, as the show does to me all the time. So I'm sure this episode will be great just because it's another Sid and Rodian episode. We haven't had one since Finders Weepers where they focus on their friendship. So hopefully this will be another great episode, just focus on them. But Never Freddy's story, I'm really intrigued by that premise alone. It's just the idea of Bobby trying to make a best friend in the city is something I never thought they would do. But I'm really excited for it. I mean, all these episodes look really exciting. It's just like I have doubts. I like to think that maybe the episodes won't be as good. That way, I'm proven wrong, and they're amazing. Okay, for what I've seen, I'm judging it now, but I know they're gonna be great. So it's just great to have New Loud House and Casagrandes back again after thinking we weren't gonna get any this month. But here we are. We're getting both shows back next week. It's very, very exciting. So we'll have a lot of stuff to look forward to, at the end of the month and then going into May, hopefully, because we got some more stuff to talk about coming up. So speaking of new episodes, well, I usually don't like to talk about leaked stuff on my show, but apparently during the same week that the Loud House and the Casagrandes are coming back in the US, the UK decided, hey, let's leak a ton of episodes during the same week. So we are getting not one, not two, but 4 new episodes of The Loud House being leaked in the UK on the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. Isn't that crazy? Because, that's just crazy. And the thing is, there's a great episode that's coming out on the 28th, the same day as Fast Feud, and I feel bad for my poor Casagrandes are gonna get, overshadowed by these episodes coming out. I don't know why the UK decided to do this. I don't know why they're doing this, why they're leaking out 4 new episodes of Season 4 of The Loud House early before the US. But I guess they just couldn't wait for the US to premiere them, so let's just do it anyway. Because we already leaked 2 episodes this week, let's do it again. But 4 times. So, again, when these episodes come out, I will not talk about them on the show. I will wait till the US premiere, that way I'll do a show on them, because, I'm gonna, wait till people actually watch it. But if some people say, yeah, it's okay, go ahead to talk about them, that's fine. But I'll try to keep it spoiler-free until the episodes come out officially in the US. But we're gonna talk about them anyway, because we have the synopsis out for these episodes already. So the first one coming out is Sister Act. To get out of doing things they don't like, Lana and Lola secretly switch places and pretend to be each other. Now this, we should have gotten seasons ago. This is a great premise for the twins. The last time we had a twin episode was in season 2 that focused on both of them. Why did we get this episode seasons ago? This is a great idea, having the twins switch for a day. It's basically a body swap episode. It's how the Loud House could do a body swap episode, with the twins switching places for a day. And it's to get out of things they don't like doing. That's kind of interesting to me, because the promo we saw Lola dressed as Lana, I guess trying to do math equations or something, and I guess Lola's you gotta do my homework for me or something. There was a scene where Lola and Lincoln were at the arcade, and I still believe that's Lana dressed as Lola, but if it's Lola with Lincoln at the arcade, that's kind of intriguing to me, that Lola would be a gamer. I never thought she would be, but I still think the one with Lola dressed as Lana is from that episode. And I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. This is gonna be a fun episode for the twins, because again, we haven't had a focus episode on the twins this season 2, and hopefully, we don't get a quick and subplot in the middle of the episode, you know what I mean? That episode is flawed because of the click and subplot, I know. But this episode, of course, was season 4, they've stopped focusing on Lincoln so much, so this will be focused on the twins. I know the family will probably play a part in this, being oh, hey, Lana, Lola, are they really gonna be fooled by this? I mean, this is a sequel to Cover Girls, it's kind of like a smaller version of Cover Girls with just the twins. I think it'll be really fun, getting a twin episode for once, because, in a while, I think it sounds great, it's gonna be great, so I'm looking forward to it. Then the next episode we gotta talk about is a big one. It's sad because this episode is coming out the same day as Fast Feud. And this episode seems way more promising than you could ever imagine. So let's talk about it. Don't you forget about me. Lenny tries to stop Lori from leaving for her dream college. So, this has a lot going for it, you know. This premise, this description, there's just so much that you could talk about with this episode. First of all, we're going back to the fairway. We're continuing this with Lori going to college, of course. It's an episode about her going to college. So that means this episode's going to be feelsy, that's for sure. And Lenny stopping Lori from going to college is very interesting to me because I never thought it'd be Lenny who would try to stop her from going, but you know, you think about it, Lenny is the second oldest. So when Lori leaves, Lenny's gonna take over the family. And you know, from a garage band, when Lori even, like, when she tried to only move into the garage, the family fell apart. So the idea of Lori moving away for good and then, like, Lenny has to take over, she's probably not ready to take over so soon. So the idea that Lori is going to, you know, to visit Fairway for a day and Lenny comes with her to try to stop her from moving so fast is so interesting to me. Like, I feel like this is going to be the very first real feelsy episode of The Loud House. There's no way they could screw up this premise. Because again, it's another episode like connecting Lori with, you know, eventually her moving to college. So this idea that Lenny kind of feels left out and feels like, you know, if Lori leaves, Lori's gonna forget about her. And I feel like in the end, you know, Lenny's gonna be like, I really don't want you to go. I know you want to go to college and stuff, but I feel like I'm just not ready to take over. And I feel like you'll forget about me and such. And Lori has to comfort her and be like, I know, Lenny, but you gotta understand that going to college is my dream, and I won't forget about my family. I'll always come to visit and stuff. I'll never forget you. And they hug and such. I think, like the Lola and Lana episode, having a Lori and Lenny episode for once is going to be great. This is going to be a great episode. I feel like it's going to be the best of the bunch. It already sounds so promising. It already sounds like it's going to be the best episode ever. I don't think they're going to screw this up. It's going to be so feelsy. It's going to be like, so seeing Lenny go with her to Fairway and try to stop her from going, but Lori like tells her that, you know, she's not moving right away, but what she does, you know, Lenny has to be ready for that, but she won't forget about her family. Oh, I feel like this is just going to be such a great episode, and, you know, I hope so, because, you know, I said the same thing about Driving Ambition, and I had a lot of, like, strong feelings towards Driving Ambition with, like, you know, I really did not enjoy the episode as much as I thought I would, but they can't screw this up. This sounds so great, and it's going to be so feelsy, and I'm so excited for it, and I know my friend Mitch is excited for it because another Lenny episode. And Leah the Rack is a great episode for Lenny. So if they already go ahead and continue that and make another perfect, great Lenny episode, it can't fail. It just can't fail. This is going to be a fantastic episode, I can already tell. Alright, then let's move on to the next episode, which is Tough Cookies. Lincoln and Clyde start their own cookie-making business, but find out that it's a lot more work than they realize. Sound the alarms! It's a Clinkin' episode! Woo! We're back, baby! We're back with the Clinkin' episodes! How long has it been since we had a Clinkin' episode, guys? I think the last time we had one was, what, like, Last Lot on Earth? I think that was, what, like, September, October, maybe? Man, I didn't think they were going to bring back the Clinkin' episodes, but here we are. We're back with a Clinkin' episode. It's like, guys, I want a Lincoln Focus episode, but they're like, no, let's just give you Clinkin'. Sure, I'll take it, because Lincoln gets a Focus episode with Clyde. Sure, I'll take it. You know, my boy deserves some focus, and even with his best friend, it's like the Sidati episode. Sure, I'll take it, you know? This, to me, again, is another generic Clinkin' episode. We all know how they go, generic Clinkin' episodes, you know? And, I feel like this episode is basically a recycled, like, plot from season 1. It's basically Lincoln Loud Girl Guru, just not the Girl Guru part. I mean, they tried making their own business for class last time. Why are they doing it again? You know? Like, or maybe it's going to be like a walk, don't run situation where maybe they're trying to raise money to buy something. That's why they make their own business, but it really gives me like a lot of Girl Guru vibes. I hope that maybe they make fun of that episode in this episode. Like, they're like, hey, remember when we tried to make a business at one time? When we tried to give girl advice? Wasn't that so dumb? Yeah, that was pretty dumb. Yeah, like, that'd be so great if they did that. Was like, yeah, let's not do that again. And I kind of feel like this episode, I know they talked about the girls being obsessed with chocolate in that one episode, so maybe, like, the girls get obsessed with cookies, kind of like that Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends episode with Frankie with the cookies, like, she was so obsessed with eating them. I feel like that'll happen in this episode where, you know, they make the cookies and the girls try to, like, steal it and stuff. Because it says they find out it's a lot more work than they realized. So, you know, with that, like, it would be kind of interesting if, like, we see them, like, ship the cookies out to different, like, places, that not just Royal Woods, but maybe Great Lake City and some other places, you know, that want the cookies and stuff. Would be kind of interesting. But I think it'll mostly just be Royal Woods. But I am curious about this episode. You know, it's going to be a hard follow-up to Don't Forget About Me, because we're all still gonna be crying after that episode, so it's like, oh, happy generic clicking episode, yeah, you know, we're still crying after Letty didn't want Lori to forget about her after going to college, yeah, we need a fun little clicking episode to pick us back up, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, so I think it'll be fun, you know, finally seeing my boy Lincoln get some focus, even if it's with Clyde. I'm cool with it. And finally, the grand finale. The thing that's gonna, like, you know, end this bomb that has 2, even 3 promising episodes that are gonna make this bomb so great. Guys, I've been dreading the day this episode was announced or coming out. I heard about it. I've known about it. I did not want it to come this early or even into the season. But it's coming for me, and I don't know what to do. I really don't want to review this episode. I really don't. I know I've said that, like, I've never said it before that I don't want to review an episode of a show that's bad. I've gone through, you know, like, I've made it through Rufus People, No Such Luck, Broad in the Family, King of the Con. It's like, guys, there's so many bad episodes I can make it through the show. But this episode, I don't know. I don't know if I can even watch a minute of this episode knowing it happens, but let's talk about it. How's Flip? After causing Flip to get hurt, the kids sneak him into the attic to care for him without Mom and Dad knowing. So, it's one of those episodes, with this premise and this character, and guys, this episode's gonna be so bad. I just have a bad feeling about it. I just do. Like, everybody's like, just give it a chance, you know, I'm sure it'll be great. No, I just Flip and this premise, and it's just drooling and badness. I really don't want to say this, Loud Crew, but really, we don't need a Flip episode. We don't need it to be this generic plot where he gets hurt and they have to take care of him, like that SpongeBob episode with Squidward. Yeah, I mean, that episode's funny. That episode's good. But for Flip, I mean, you know, I'm sure I know there's people out there who like Flip. I know there are. But he's not really the most liked character. And even then, are they really going to try so hard to make Flip likable in this episode? Even then, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to tolerate him this episode. I don't tolerate him at all. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. But ending this bomb, this leak bomb, but I assume this is going to be official bomb too, with this episode is like the bomb with Rufus People. How do you end it on a sour note? Why can't you just have this episode first? Get over with. I know, the bad episode, get over with. I know. And I keep saying that, and it's like, I know people are going to say to me, Sonny, just give it a chance. I'm sure it'll be great. Fine. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for it to be not a bad episode, but just the idea of a Flip-focused episode, and just the idea of the kids taking care of him in this scenario it's just drooling in badness. It just really is, and I just hope I want to be proven wrong. I want it to be a funny episode. I want it to be a good episode. I want to actually feel like I'm watching something that I know is good. But I've never read a premise of an episode knowing that I can feel how bad this episode will go. I've never had a premise of an episode to me where I just read it and be like, yeah, that's gonna be bad. I just have that gut feeling. But I want to be proven wrong. I I want to be proven wrong that this episode will be good, you know? I don't like Flip. I hate how overused he is. I know the Loud House crew love him so much. I know he's funny. I get it. But I hate how oversaturized he is in the show, that he got like 4 appearances in that one bomb where he was in every single episode. He got that cameo in the Casagrande, featuring the Casagrande episode, which I hated. You know, I hated the fact that they like made him have a cameo because why not? I don't know. You know, he's in the city, I guess, but I hate how oversaturated he is. I really do. I just don't want him to be around as much, but you know, that's just the way it has to be. He's there, he's a character, they love him, I don't care, you know? And if they can somehow make this episode redeemable and funny and good in some sort of way, I'll pat them on the back and say, hey, I guess, you know, Flip's alright. The only time I ever tolerated him was the Thanksgiving episode, where he had some redeeming qualities to him, where he was like, yeah, he brought the families together, that's redeemable. Any other time, no, I don't want him around. But, you know, again, I want to be positive, I want to be optimistic and say, sure, I'll take it, I'm sure it'll be good, I'm sure people will like it, I probably won't, but, you know, who knows. So yeah, that's 4 new episodes of The Loud House getting leaked out in the UK next week. The same time that the official US release of The Loud House episodes and the Casagrandes are airing. Again, my poor Casagrandes are going to get overshadowed by that Lenny episode that's going to be so great, and then they're going to probably get overshadowed by the Flip episode. I don't think so, because, you know, Never Freddy's story sounds so great, you know, but again, it's just gonna be hard to know that there's 4 new episodes of The Loud House getting leaked out next week, and I won't be able to talk about them because I want to keep it, like, you know, secret and spoilers and such, so, you know, but when you guys do see them, you know, I hope you enjoy them, and hopefully I can talk about them when the US official release comes out. Whew, wow, yeah, that took a lot out of me with the new episodes. Alright, so then we gotta talk about some other news that came out. I don't have it really in a true order for the other news besides the new episodes. So I didn't get to talk about this last time, but the Loud House had a drawing session on Instagram with supervising director Jessica Borowski. She did a live stream on Instagram drawing some of the characters from the show. She drew Lincoln, Lily, Lynn, Clyde, Lucy. I don't remember who else she drew. I think that's the only character she drew. Oh, and Luann, because of course she had the voice actor of Luann, Christina Pacelli, come onto the live stream. She came in a little late because she couldn't come into the live stream for some reason because Instagram was being bad on her end. But once she did come in, it was so cool seeing her. This was really neat. I love seeing the official, you know, the people who work on the show draw the characters for us and show them how to draw them. I think it's really neat. I kind of wish she could have drew a few more characters, but she only drew like 4 of them for us. But it was still really, really neat. And of course having Christina being there, you know, because Christina's really supportive of the fans and the fandom. She's very active in the fandom, so it was really neat having her there. And all of us were there, you know, all of us fans were there. We were all like interacting with each other in the little like the chat, like we were all talking to each other and be like, hey, what's up, you know? It was kind of cool, like, you know, gathering for that. Hopefully they do another one like this. Maybe they'll do one for the Casagrandes. I'm surprised they didn't do one for the Casagrandes, because we were all, like, kind of hoping Jessica would draw a Casagrande character maybe, but she only drew Loud House, so maybe they'll do a Casagrande one, they'll just yell at them, be like, draw Mariana Lincoln, please! You know, and just be one of those fans. But I know, like, the official Casagrande Instagram was like, draw Lori and Bobby, because I didn't want to ask for Casagrandes. I was going to, but I didn't want to ask for them because it was Loud House. I didn't want to be that fan. But then when I saw the official Instagram say Lori and Bobby, I'm like, oh, okay, I can request Casagrandes, all right. You know, so official Casagrande Instagram, if you're listening out there, or Nickelodeon, if you're listening out there, do a Casagrande drawing session. I'll be there, but I'll be requesting Ryan Lincoln if you do it. They won't do it for me, I know, but still. Or just draw, like, Ronnie and Bobby, Sid, you know, like, do that thing with it. Hopefully somebody does. But it was still cool seeing this. They had a bunch of these for different shows, too. They did SpongeBob, It's Pony, and they did, like a Nick Jr. one, I think, and they had the Loud House. So this was really neat to do this. Hopefully they do it again. I'd love her to draw more of the characters if they do this again, or again have the Casagrandes do it too. And then moving over to the Loud House and Casagrande YouTube page, let's see what they've updated during these past 2 weeks. I haven't talked about them. So the last time I didn't talk about them, they uploaded 6 videos. The first one was the deep dive into Ronnie Ann's life. So, remember I said that I was hoping they were going to do a, 27 facts about Ronnie Ann when they did one about Lincoln? Was it 27 or 25? I can't remember. Oh, it was 19. I don't know why I said 27. Anyway, I was like, oh, they did a fact video about Lincoln. I hope they do one about Ronnie Ann. And they did! I guess somebody's listening out there. They heard me say one, yeah. I mean, they were probably going to do one anyway, but I was like, oh, they actually did one. But they did 27 facts. I think they talked about her family a lot, so... yeah, so they talked about Ronnie Ann, they talked about her family, about her life, what she likes to do, her friends. I think it was really cool that the first thing they talked about, besides her, was talking about how she, lived in Royal Woods and is Lincoln's friend and his former classmate. I think that's really cool they include each other in their facts videos, because Ronnie Ann was also mentioned in Lincoln's at number 14, so I think that's really neat that they include each other there, because reminding them that they're best friends and stuff, yeah. But yeah, it was really nice, learning about Ronnie Ann, most of the things I know about her, but again, it was cool that they actually did make a fact video about her, because I said I wanted one about her to connect with Lincoln, but the fact that she got 27 versus him getting 19, some bias there, but I would have done the same, I mean, so I'm glad she got one for herself to talk about her life and things like that. The next video was the Best Thing Ever remix. They do the remixes where they just change up the words or slow it down, backwards, things like that. Most of the remixes are like that, so still kind of neat to get that. The next one we had was one moment from every Loud House episode ever. This was kind of neat to get, honestly, getting every minute of every episode of the Loud House so far, because we're not done yet. But it was really neat seeing every episode of the show, especially season 1, because there's a lot of episodes I've barely seen from season 1, so seeing those clips again, I'm like, what episode is that from again? And they even showed a sneak peek from Perfect Geek at the end of the episode with Luna and the cat. So I can talk about that because we have that sneak peek in there. But yeah, that was really neat to get that video. I love that. That was fun. Hopefully they do one with the Casagrandes. That'd be really neat. I know they don't have a lot of episodes so far because Loud House has 4 seasons. But it'd be kind of neat to get that too. And then we had the Lori and Bobby relationship timeline. Like we had one with Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. Quote-unquote friendship timeline, even though it was relationship timeline. Don't think I didn't see you change that, Nickelodeon. See everything. But yeah, now we have one about Lori and Bobby. One of the best couples of all time on the Loud House and the Casagrandes. I could say that. I love Lobby, so it was great to get a timeline about their relationship. I love them together. And, it was good to get their focus on them as a relationship. We had the one with Lincoln and Ronnie, and so to have one with Lori and Bobby, of course, both pairings are so great together, so nice to have a, connected one with them as well. Then finally, we had the Loud House Back in Black in 5 minutes. So yeah, Back in Black. That one episode where we actually had a ship that was supposed to happen, but didn't. When is Rocky coming back? It's like, oh yeah, Rocky was a thing, right? We all remember Rocky, and Lucy and Rocky were supposed to be a thing. Then he never came back for 2 more seasons, so is he ever gonna come back? Did they think that maybe they didn't want to bring Rocky back? I don't know, again, I hope Rocky actually does return in season 5. I know I heard somewhere that he's supposed to, so hopefully they keep that promise. But yeah, so yeah, and connected with YouTube, the Loud House and the Casagrandes have been updating their Instagrams with the Roddykin vlogs. They posted the gaming one, the one about video games, and they posted the one with filters. So those have been updated on the Instagram page, and hopefully they'll update more of those. They skipped a few. They uploaded the one with filters, and they skipped to number 5. I guess because, one was about Christmas and one was about New Year's, so they're like, let's save those for later. But it's okay if you upload them. They're old anyway, so might as well, if you know what I mean. But, it was nice to see they still acknowledge the vlogs, so they're uploading them. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Maybe I did, or maybe I did. I can't remember. But they did re-upload the Lincoln and Ronnie and Texie video they did a while back. I think it was a couple months ago they did it, like back in like maybe November, December. But yeah, they re-uploaded that. And funny thing was they re-uploaded it twice. Like I was looking at their Instagram page and I saw them update with the video and I was like, oh, they have to remember the Ronnie Kid Texie video. And then they posted it again. I'm like, oh, did you forget that you uploaded it? And then they deleted it, of course. But what was great about that was I did comment on the video saying, I wrote they're the best with a little heart. And then they commented back. I didn't expect this at all because they're actually commenting and liking some of my comments, which is great. They're being so sweet. It's awesome. I'm glad they're acknowledging me. I'm like, hey, I'm a Casagrandes fan. Oh, hey. So my podcast isn't on Instagram, but I'm on Instagram, so I comment a lot. But then they commented back on that video, the texting video, where it said they're the best, and they replied back saying that's why they're best friends. I'm like, oh, I'm like, Casagrandes, introduce to me. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, oh. They know how to make me happy. I was like, oh my god, I got my Ronnie Kid validation that they still say they're best friends. I cry. So it's like, oh. Oh, I miss Ronnie Kids so much. I really do, man. I hope we get some more content with them. I swear. But yeah, that was great. I love how they've been like being very active on Instagram and replying to people and commenting and liking comments on their Instagram posts. So that's really cool. So I really love that, and they've been really friendly and stuff. So that was really neat. So that was the updates from the Instagram. Then switching over to a bit of, I guess I'd say spoilers, but I think we already know about this, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway on my show. Isabella, of course, the voice of Ronnie Ann, does a ton of, live streams on Instagram where she, takes fan comments from, most of us are Loud House and Casagrandes fans, so she does answer questions that people ask about and such. And the one she did have on, I think a couple weeks ago, she had Miguel on, one of hers, where he was on her live stream, and I came in late because I was doing something, so I didn't get to see what happened with him. Like, I know I asked Vincent on Twitter if he remembered anything with Miguel, but he couldn't remember anything with that too. But the one thing he did remember, and he told me in DMs, but then of course he posted on Twitter. I think somebody had asked about Lincoln again. We're always asking about Lincoln come back in the Casagrandes. I know we're all so, biased and predictable, i.e. myself. So yeah, someone did ask if Lincoln's coming back to the show, and Isabella again did reply saying that expect more Lincoln eventually. So is that for season 1 or is that for season 2? I don't know, because I still remember when one of those writers on Twitter did like my comment saying I want more Roddykin season 2, so maybe that's a tease for season 2. Hopefully we're gonna get more Roddykin, eventually down the line. That'll be great. I'd be so happy to see Lincoln again. Hopefully before season 1 ends we get a Lincoln cameo, because again, Lori got her second cameo, so hopefully Lincoln gets its second in season 1, but again, more Lincoln. Again, see about to be again, naturally, of course. And then, of course, she did say, she also said, expect something more, expect more Adelaide. That's great. I'd love to see more Adelaide. Adelaide's super popular. She's a very popular character. I love Adelaide. She's adorable. So we get to see more Adelaide in the show. Fine with me. I'd love to see more with her. Hopefully more episodes about her. Maybe one with her and Carl. I see them as a great pairing, so maybe we'll get to see that. So more Lincoln, more Adelaide coming for Casagrandes. Hopefully we get to hear more about that. But, we're always being teased that Lincoln's coming back in the Casagrandes because, they like to tease us. We want it. We expect it. We're like, we're always expecting Lincoln to come back in the show. We want more Ronniekins. So, So hearing that, again, Lincoln's going to make more cameos in the future in season 1, but hopefully season 2, that'll be really great. Then in other news, just hearing about this was, so the Casagrandes are doing super well in Latin America. It says Nickelodeon Latin America announced that the premiere of the Casagrandes on April 3rd secured the #1 spot in key markets in the region. The show topped rankings on Nickelodeon in Argentina, Mexico, and Brazil, including all kids pay TV channels with kids 7 to 4. Additionally, the show's short-form content on Nick Play, the Nick app, and generated over 13K million views. Wow, that's great. They actually are doing well in their target demographic. That's amazing. I of course I knew that was going to happen, but it is really exciting how well the Casagrandes are doing overall as a show. Especially because, it is a spin-off of a very popular show. So to know that the spin-off is just as popular as the main show is really, really exciting. The next piece of news is the Casagrandes supervising director Miguel Puga to host Latinx in Animation Masterclass for LALIFF Connect 2020. The Latino Film Institute has announced the exciting news that Miguel Puga, a supervising director and creative producer on Nickelodeon Animation Studios' popular anime series The Casagrandes, will be co-hosting a masterclass as part of the Institute's LALIFF Connect 2020 program, which will this year be held virtually due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. So yeah, this is kind of neat. He's going to be hosting some classes to, what is it for? It says the synopsis for the masterclass is Latina X in Animation, a masterclass with head of story of Connected at Sony Pictures Animation, Garetino Martez, co-producer at Walt Disney Animation Studios, Vernette Marino, and creative producer of the Casagrandes and Nickelodeon Animation Studios, Miguel Puga. It will be held from May 5th to the 31st, which will include feature films, short films, episodes, masterclasses, and musical performances, all which will be available through the LALIFF website for free. Oh, that's kind of neat. So it's kind of like a film festival in a way. That's really neat. It says it's a premiere event dedicated to showcasing the entirety of human experience from the Latino perspective, whether through film, television, digital, music, art, or any other vehicle, regardless of platform. So that's like a showcase. That's really neat, and they're gonna do it online this year. That's really cool. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it. It says it'll be available for free online, so when it does come out, I guess I'll be able to see it. So yeah, check that out when you can. It sounds really neat. I love seeing that stuff for free, especially because I can't really see film festivals or animation festivals at all. So know they're gonna provide it online, and hopefully we might be able to watch it. I think that's really, really cool. Then the final piece of news at last, because there's a lot of news this week. The final piece of news is Ryan W. Mead posted this on Twitter. With students in California's Youth Cinema Project were unable to film due to the coronavirus, Edward James Amos enlisted the Latino TV community to perform their scripts. Isabella Alvarez and Carlos Azraqui from the Casagrandes will perform April 27th. Oh, that's really cool. Like, that's really neat that they're actually getting people from the Latino community to perform these scripts that these young students have actually created. That's really cool. Will we be able to see it, actually? I'm not sure. Like, I have to look at the article here. Does it say we're going to be able to watch it? It says YCP live read schedule. But yeah, so the Casagrandes, Isabella, and Carlos will be on the 27th. That's a neat idea. Like, I really like that they're enlisting people from the actual community who are, in the voice acting community to read these scripts that these students have actually written because they can't do them for their projects because of schools being closed. That's kind of awesome. That's a great opportunity for these kids to do this. That is really neat. I'd love to see that if we're actually going to be able to see it. But if not, that's a great opportunity. Like, I congratulate those kids are going to be able to actually get people from these actual shows to perform their scripts that they've written for school. That is really neat. So yeah, that's all the news this week. It was a lot of news, but yeah, that is all the news this week. So again, new episodes next week of The Loud House and The Casagrandes at 12 p.m., reruns 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget about them. Don't miss them. They're going to be great for sure. But of course, we might get those leaked episodes that same week too, so that'll also be very exciting as well. But again, new episodes of The Loud House and The Casagrandes next week. Very exciting. The 27th through the 30th. Don't miss them. They're going to be fantastic. I can already tell. So if you have any questions about the podcast or want to discuss the podcast with me, you can contact me over at XStudyClips on Twitter, or the podcast is Twitter, Casagrande Chats. And we'll see you all next time on Casagrande Chats.